Hey everyone, it's Crystal, a vlogger with NuSplash, and today I'm going to be discussing the importance of staying true to yourself. This topic was inspired by a conversation I was having with an associate a couple of days ago about we were discussing what we felt our biggest downfalls have been in the realm of relationships. And one of the things I stated for myself was I had the tendency to lose myself in the other person. I lose me in the we. I tend to morph, well, before I've had a tendency to morph myself kind of into my partner's existence and neglect who I am, neglect tending to what makes me me, and kind of contorting myself to, I guess, what to do what I thought would be more appealing to my partner, to make my existence fit into theirs. What I've come to find from that is a couple of things. The first, when you morph yourself into another individual, into another person, uh, a key component is when your identity is wrapped up in another person, um, that person then holds the key to make or break you. So if things go awry and things hit the fan, you feel more devastated because who you are has become who that person is. You lose your sense of self and identity, and it's hard to recover from that because everything you are was everything that person was. Another thing I've noticed is you lose your appeal. Part of what attracts people to you is you, like who you are. And when you start losing that, people become less attracted because who you are has changed, and you become less interesting because you now have more to yourself and change to fit into somebody else's paradigm. Another thing is you once if and when that relationship ends, you don't know like who you are anymore. You spent so much time morphing yourself into somebody else that when it's all said and done, you don't even recognize yourself anymore. Um, so then you have to go through like a deconstruction phase where you get familiar with yourself again and filter out what's really you and what are things that you took on from your partner, which can take some time depending on how far you go with altering yourself. Um, Another thing also is when you lose your sense of self, people like if you change yourself to become more, I guess, quote unquote, lovable or likable, um, people are not getting the real you. Like they're getting a representative. And for me, um, I feel like I've spent so many years and so much time trying to live up to other people's expectations of what's right and what's desirable that I've lost. I spent so much time outside of myself that I had to spend even longer time trying to get to know me again and get reacquainted with who I am. And I've reached a phase where I want people to love and like me for who I am completely. And if I cannot be 100% myself around an individual, especially a boyfriend or significant other, then I just don't want it at all. Um, so the biggest key I feel for me is I want people to love me for me, and people cannot do that if I'm losing me in the we. Um, and it's not as authentic and pure. It's built on a shaky foundation, and eventually the relationship will crumble. So, yes, that concludes my video. I hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts on how it's important to maintain your individuality within the realms of a relationship. And I'll see you guys next week.